A lease is a legal contract, just like something that you would sign when you go to lend money to buy a car or enter into a phone agreement. It sets out the terms and conditions and the period that you are going to be locked into this contract. Generally, we see leases of 6, 12 months or sometimes 2 years. However, what can happen as a tenant sometimes is that we find ourselves in a situation where we no longer need to occupy the property. This is where you as a tenant can request to end your agreement early, commonly known as breaking your lease. Just like with the car loan or the telco contract, there may be penalties imposed. And in this instance, the lease cannot be fulfilled. Your landlord is able to ensure that they receive their dues until the end of the contract, so to speak. Most commonly, when a tenant wishes to end their lease early, the landlord will seek that the outgoing tenant pay them or compensate to them any expenses they have incurred. Generally, but not limited to, these costs are advertising and reletting and compensation up until a new lease has been entered into. If you as the tenant surrender the keys back to the agent or landlord, this simply does not mean that the tenancy has ended. This purely means that occupancy is no longer required. The tenancy will only end upon an agreement of both parties, meaning you, the tenant, and the landlord. Your bond will not be finalised until such time as the tenancy has actually ended. It is important to bear in mind that if you've handed back possession of the property, and for example it takes a few weeks to relet, that there may be the requirement to dust or mow the home. These costs can be incurred by you as long as it is fair and reasonable to do so and reflects the condition of your entry report. Depending on the market at the time of ending your agreement early, it could be a costly exercise. It is advisable to speak to your property manager about those market conditions before taking the next steps. If you absolutely must end your agreement prior to the end of your contract date, the agent and landlord will work in your best interest to secure a new tenant as quickly as possible. We must mitigate loss to both parties. For more information and rights, you may contact the RTA.